In this video, we'll walk you through upgrading Cisco Modeling Labs from version 2.8 to the powerful new version 2.9 running on VMware and explore its exciting new capabilities. It comes with a lot of great features. Docker container support has lightweight scalable nodes like Chrome, Firefox, NGINX, WAN emulator, increased node scalability, fine-grained lab sharing permissions, Git integration for lab repos, other refinements as well where you have fast API backend, bulk API operations, new node images like ICE and Catalyst 9800, the wireless controller. Now, prerequisite, ensure you're running CML 2.7.2 or 2.8. Only those versions are supported. In place upgrades to 2.9. Let's go ahead and log into my CML right now. And here you'll notice that my current version is actually 2.8. So let's go ahead and log into it. For which you go to the IP address. For login, you hit admin and then set up your password. Obviously, you need to remember your password. Once I find my password, and I'm going to be in right now. And once you log in, you'll see all my labs that I have been working on before on my 2.8. But you'll notice that one of the labs is actually on. In order to shut it off, I need to press the stop button so the lab currently stops. And once it's stopped, you're going to make sure all of them are stopped. You can hit the list view. That's easy to see that if all of them are off or on. In my case, you can see all of them are off right now. Now, next thing you want to do is you want to go to the tools and click on system administration to see the maintenance mode, and you need to enable the maintenance mode. Once you enable it, make sure to hit the save button at the bottom right. Next thing you want to do is to go to the computer host on the left side, select the one, go to change administration state, and from ready change to registered. Now as soon as you do it, you'll notice that the connected state changed from a green check to a red cross here. You want to click on the system maintenance so that you can go to the cockpit. And think of this as your control center for your CML. Here also, I can see that my system is actually CML 2.8 that I'm using currently. Login would be system, which is sys admin, and then basically whatever password you set up. Once you're in, you'll see a lot of options. But before we do anything else, let's go ahead and actually download the file that we need for upgrading to 2.9. And the website is software.cisco.com, downloads, and you basically need an account for that. I'm under CML3 option, and I'm looking for the second file here, which actually says Cisco Modeling Labs server upgrade. So I'm going to go ahead and actually download that file, accept terms and conditions. And you'll notice that the download starts. Now, since you're already on the page, if you want to go ahead and download the third, this is the file that contains all the containers, new containers that were included in the 2.9 version of CML. So we'll need them as well. Let's jump back into CML, click on Tools and System Upgrade. So click on Choose a File. It will basically take me to my downloads. Make sure that I select all files so I can see that file selected, and then click Upload Image. That uploads the image to the actual system here. And actually, it does not take that long to upload the file to the system. It was pretty quick for me. Like you'll notice it was a few seconds here. And you'll notice that the file is already uploaded here. Gives you a reminder that all your running labs must be stopped, all compute hosts put to registered state, and maintenance mode must be enabled, which we did before. Now you will jump back into your cockpit, click on System Upgrade, and click on Upgrade. You click on Upgrade, again it's going to ask you for upgrade, yes. And I actually ran into an error here if you notice. And the reason I ran into this error was because I used the file correctly, but I had a .zip behind it, which is a problem. So you need to make sure that you actually extract the file before you end up using it. So now basically I'll go back to the same file that I had before, just extract it here, and then that's the file that I'm going to go ahead and use. So again, let's go back to the CML, upgrade the right file, delete the old one. So go ahead and simply click on delete here. That will delete the file that we had, which is the .zip. If you notice, that was a problem, I think. So I had the wrong file. So now once I select the right file should end with .pkg. And then the same process, upload it again so that we have the right file into the system. Once you have that, now let's go ahead and jump back into our cockpit and upgrade. Try the same thing again. Yes, upgrade. And this time, if you notice that I'm not seeing any issues and it's just going through a log here. So I'll let it run through some of this stuff. The main thing is that at the end, when you see the result, the code, it says it should be the code 0. Code 0 really means that everything went well. And if there was an issue, then it would say some other code that you'll have to figure out which one. So all went well. Code 0 is what I got. Now let's go back to the CML, and you'll notice that I have the upgraded version 2.9.0 build 3. Let's go ahead and log in with the same credentials I had before. Nothing changes there. And once I hit login, I should be into the new system, which is upgraded. Now let's go back to Tools, System Administration, and try to disable the maintenance mode. When I do that, I notice that the save option at the bottom right is actually still grayed out. So we'll let it be there. Let's go back to the computer host, select it, and change the state to ready. And you see that everything became green at the bottom there. Once I do that, and the red check cross became the green check here. And now again, if I click on dashboard, I notice that all my labs are here, but I still have in the maintenance mode because we couldn't hit save. So let's fix that. Let's go back to the actual CML console here and try and reboot it. Since I need to make sure that it has to come out of that maintenance mode that is still on. So go back to CML. You can log in here with same credentials, sysadmin, and then whatever password you have for your CML here. So let's go ahead and put that, and I'm going to try and reload it. In order to reboot, you do sudo sudosystemctl reboot. And it's going to ask you for a password. Again, the system admin password, so go ahead and put that password in, and you'll see the system will start to reboot as soon as you do that. The system reboots, tries to come back on here. Once it's back on, you got to log in back again to your CML console. And once you're logged back in with your standard username password, this time you notice that I'm able to disable the maintenance mode. I have the save button option enabled. So you click on save, and right now the maintenance mode has been turned off successfully. Now at this point, that I'm upgraded to 2.9. Successfully, everything is up and running, but I still don't have the containers images. So as I was saying before, we're going to go back to the download center, get that third file I spoke to you about before. So if you already downloaded, perfect. If not, then let's go back to the center again and go ahead and download. Now this file is a little bigger than the previous one, so it might take some time depending on your connection that you have on the internet. And you have to accept the terms and conditions like I just did here. And you notice that the download is already on. Now you go back to your VMware workstation, make sure your CML is off, click on the CD drive and select the actual file that you downloaded this time. This time, just for convenience, what I did was I threw everything on my desktop, created a CML folder, so I have all my files that are organized here. So select the file that you just downloaded. This is the one. You select it, you open, and then once you've done that, you basically just start your machine again. And it will go through that boot process that you've seen a few times before, I'm sure. So once again, you go back to your cockpit. Once you're there, under the maintenance, you see the option of copy ISO option. You click on that and you just hit copy. You'll see a log again where you'll see that it's actually copying all the files from that ISO. Something to be noticed about here is that now this is going to take space on your disk. If you haven't given your machine enough space, then it will run out of space. And once again, it's going to take some time. And at the end, when everything is done, you're going to again look for that code 0, which means everything went perfectly fine. Once I copied that, I noticed that I was having some issues where I could not log into my CML anymore, where it would give me an error message that you see on the screen here that says backend error, controller, is it running? And even in front of the version, it basically disappeared. So obviously, if you run into this, is something that you'll need to fix it. Now, thankfully, there is a fix for that. So you have to go back to your cockpit in order to fix this issue. So again, under maintenance, you want to try restarting the services first, see if this fixes the issue for you. So for me, it did not. So basically to fix it, I had to go to factory reset and actually reset the machine back to factory. And once I did that, it fixed the issue that I was getting before. So I can go back now to CML and I'll be able to successfully log in, no problem. And once you back into your CML, you'll notice that under nodes, whole bunch of nodes are here. These are all the containers that were not there before in 2.8, but in 2.9, all those options show up to here. It's great to see so many options that are in your lab right now. Now let's go ahead and drag and drop a few. So how about we do Chrome here? The next one I'm looking for is NGINX. I'll drop it here. But before I do that also, I want to point out that my disk space is running on 92%. That's in red. We'll go ahead and fix that after as well. Once I've done that, I'll right click and add a new link and connect the two using Ethernet. And they both are actually using Ethernet 0 in this case. In order to increase this disk space, you need to go back to your VMware workstation where your file is and actually click on Edit Virtual Machine Setting and increase your hard disk size here. And by clicking on Expand, and again, I have set up to 64, I had 32 before. And then you start the machine basically. Now, if you go back on the dashboard, you notice that, as I said before, it's running 92%, so it's kind of full. Go back to Cockpit, click on Storage. This is where you see all your storages. Now, one that I'm interested in, the VG00. So you're going to click on that VG00 here. And this is kind of where it's showing you the logical volumes and your physical volumes as well. So this is pretty much the snapshot of what you have right now with your CML. First thing what I'll have to do is to click on that Add Physical Volume that you see on the right hand top side. So click on that. Make sure you check it and hit Add there. Make sure to check that, Add. Now under Physical, I see two of these before I only had one there. Under the logical volumes, you see the LVVAR. You need to click on that. This is where you see the grow option at the top. You click on grow and see how big you want to do. So for me, I'm going to just do 40 here. So I'll just type in 40 and click on grow. As I do that, you notice that I'll see the two logical volumes as well, SDA2 and SDA3, 23 gig and the 16.9 gig. And that's pretty much what you need to do now. If I click on the storage here, you get a snapshot of what you have from your CML VM machine perspective. Let's log in back into our CML, and you notice that the 92% is not there, it's green. The space I'm using right now is 55%. Now let's go ahead and start the containers we put them before. So we'll start the containers. Let's configure the Chrome. We give it 10.0.0.1 and we click on the NGIX, give it 10.0.0.2, and then let's start both of these, and I can log into the Chrome now, open the VNC console and try logging into my NGINX server. And if I put the address here, you see that I'm in right. And that's a wrap. See you in the next one. Bye for now.